Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the ATV Project with Stephen Lee.
I'm going to get the tissues. You're going to cry, are you?
I don't know what it is about the intro.
Great. That's a great intro. You're laughing, but it actually suits well. I think we can run with that intro because we are doing it. There's a few laughs in today's podcast.
There is, yes.
Because we're talking about influencers.
We are talking about influencers, yes.
And they make me laugh and they make me cry and I love them and I hate them.
Yeah, all of the above. It covers every spectrum of the emotions. Influences.
I've got people I've got man crushes on too.
Do you?
Yes. One guy.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know about
Actually, kind of 1.5. Oh, yeah. No, actually 2.
1.5 guys.
2 guys.
1.5 guy. Like.
2 guys. I love listening to.
Okay. Well, there you go.
And one of them, I see in his underwear most mornings in my phone.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think there's a name for that site, but we won't mention it.
Yeah, we won't. There's a reason for all this. And but it's quite funny. Influencers, though. I mean, you got some blinders there.
I do, yes.
I refuse to I started reading about it when I can't read that.
No, you can't read it.
Because you're going to read it during the podcast.
I am.
And I've got some blinders here. Well, do you want to start with yours? Because yours are like, these are influencers that are talking. Well, you set it up.
I'll set it up. So the whole premise of this podcast came about because there was an article that's published on the 13th of September this year, so very recent, about how social media influencers, dietitians and nutritionists specifically, have been paid by big food companies, soda companies to to talk about aspartame.
Yep, and the artificial sweetener.
Yeah, the artificial sweetener and how it's actually not unhealthy for you and all the claims are wrong, that sort of thing. Not really being upfront about the fact that they're getting paid. These are paid sort of posts. So this article has come out all about this, and we wanted to talk about the article and talk more about social media influencers.
Published in the Washington Post, by the way.
Published in the Washington Post. So this was a joint investigation by the Washington Post and the Examination, which is a non-profit newsroom specialising in global public health reporting. So obviously the Washington Post is American, obviously. Yeah. So this is in the US. But I have seen posts on social media that look a little bit unusual. So, and they're not disclosing that they're being paid for these ads. So people are then believing them and we will talk about how people are believing everything that these influencers are saying and how to actually be careful about the information that you're deciding to take on.
Those dietitians were pretty attractive, so I must believe them.
Yeah, that's right. They were qualified. They're all qualified.
Qualified?
Yeah. So I guess what we'll do is I'm going to read the article and we'll sort of pick points out as we go along, and then we're going to talk about a few other sort of issues. You've got some studies there to sort of counter some of the claims that these so-called specialists and experts are saying in the article. So it starts off. So this all came about because the World Health Organization raised questions about the risks of aspartame.
Yep.
I have trouble saying that word. I want to say aspartame because that's what they say in America.
They say in America. We go to America, so you can say aspartame.
Well, it does go to America, so aspartame or aspartame, wherever you are. A new hashtag was started spreading around on social media, and it was safety of aspartame was the hashtag. And then there was a few dietitians and 2 nutritionists that started talking about how aspartame is actually quite healthy. So, and I'll name these because this is very accessible online. You can look it up and get it online.
I think we're talking out of they actually, it's published.
Yeah, it's published. So and you can get it. It took me 2 seconds to find it online. So it's available to anybody.
Yeah.
Someone called Steph Grasso, who's a registered dietitian from Oakton, used the hashtag safety of aspartame and told her 2.2 million followers on TikTok that the WHO warnings, which is the World Health Organization, about artificial sweeteners were clickbait based on low-quality science.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another dietitian, Cara Harbstreet of Kansas City, reassured her Instagram followers not to worry about fear-mongering headlines about aspartame because the evidence doesn't suggest there's a reason for concern.
Oh, doesn't it just?
It doesn't, and we're going to counter that.
Well, we counted that in the book. By the way, if you really want to know about artificial sweeteners, we did a massive podcast on it about 6 to 12 months ago.
Yes,
so that's like a whole thing on it, and we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. So I think that's the title of it. Can't remember.
Well, there you go.
But it's a really good review into all the literature in it. So it's a good one. But sorry,
it's a really good one. So no, that's okay. And then in a third video, and these are all online and the videos are up for people to play the videos. Third video, Mary Ellen Phillips, who's a Houston area dietitian who specialises in diabetes care, mind you.
Oh, here we go.
Sipped from a glass of soda and told her Instagram viewers that artificial sweeteners satisfy the desire for sweetness without affecting blood sugar or insulin levels.
Ooh.
And she does talk about other things in the post as well. That's like...
Oh, yeah, okay.
Quite cringeworthy, really.
Yeah.
So what all of these dietitians didn't disclose that they were paid to post these videos by American Beverage, a trade and lobbying group. So American Beverage, this is interesting how these guys came about.
Yeah.
So when all this controversy came up about, aspartame and all these other things, and there was lawsuits and investigations, these companies obviously would have gone broke, right? Mm-hmm. So they decided to get together. So some of the members of the American Beverage trade group include the Coca-Cola Company, Pepsi Cola, Dr. Pepper, and some other non-alcoholic beverage companies. Mm-hmm. So they all got together and just developed this group that represents Coca-Cola and Pepsi and other brands to sort of counter a lot of these accusations that are coming out about these artificial sweeteners. So they're basically putting this body in there to say, no, look at all the research we've done to say this isn't true. So that's how they came about. So that was kind of interesting.
Jeez.
So they were the ones paying these professionals.
And not disclosing
it. To talk about how aspartame is actually quite healthy.
It's wrong on so many levels. Okay, let's just – firstly – disclosure is what we're all about. That's the thing that gets me. We work for ATP, not really secretive about it. It's like, welcome to the ATP, blah, blah, blah. And so we talk about ATP stuff. It's, obvious we're declaring our bias.
Yeah.
Perception of bias. So that's why we use data a lot because we don't say, we're the best, full stop.
Yeah.
But these people who are doing that without disclosure means that the informant goes, a dietitian. Now I'm going to summarise this, and I'm going to this could be a take-home message. I heard a dietitian, a professional, tell me that I can drink soft drink.
Yeah,
that's what I've been told.
Yeah,
and she was sipping it on there. Now, diet soft drink, is it just like some people just go, well, I'll just drink that. But let's assume, let's play devil's advocate. Let's assume that they go, we'll just drink, artificial sweeteners. There's low quality evidence and all that sort of stuff. There's not low quality evidence. No. There's loads of evidence on this. There is, especially aspartame.
Yeah.
Now, if I was talking about this and I wanted to be an influencer like this, whatever, I would say, I'd say, look, okay, here's the data. Some suggest this, some suggest that. The jury's still out, whatever. You could say that. And you disclose what you're doing. That's fine. But to saying what they said, definitive statement saying, this whole World Health Organization stuff are, clickbait and low-quality evidence. It's not low-quality evidence now. We've got good quality evidence on
really,
this.
and we've got a lot of evidence.
I picked one paper here that was, again, published peer-reviewed study. Find it somewhere here. There it is, aspartame, true or false, narrative review of safety analysis. Now, the whole damn thing goes for multiple pages, but very, very basically, they look at the aspartame link with obesity, diabetes, children and fetuses, autism, neurodegeneration, phenylketonuria, allergies, skin problems, and its cancer properties. And they're all analysed, and scaringly, there's all some evidence for those sort of things. Now, let's say half of it's true.
Yeah.
Then you're in trouble. But what we do know about aspartame is that as soon as you ingest it, you can measure chemical changes in your body.
Yeah.
And here's a few of them, Nick, and this is from this is from Nutrients 2021. And the first hormone that you'll see that goes up as soon as you drink aspartame is cortisol.
Yes.
So now that alone, forget the other ones, corticosteroid and adrenocorticotropic hormone, which is the stimulant from your brain. So it has an effect in your brain.
Yeah.
Let's say you just drive up just cortisol. That breaks down muscle, increases sugar blood levels. So it doesn't, aspartame itself's got no sugar in it. It's an amino acid. But it triggers cortisol, which breaks down muscle tissue and liberates glucose into the body.
Yeah.
So therefore that glucose turns back into fat, not back into muscle.
Yeah.
So that one chemical thing alone does that and many other things. It suppresses serotonin in the brain, which is why you have a lot of neurological problems with it. Yep. So, I mean, that's just one of the repeatable things that it does.
Many papers are out there on it. And the thing is, you can always cherry pick a paper to back your argument. Yeah. It's very easy to do and just to ignore all of the other evidence showing that it's against what you're saying. So it's very easy to do that. So, and I see that a lot. You know, I see people who are sort of trying to get a point across or even sell a product or something, and they will cherry pick studies to back their own claims, not looking at the full picture.
And that's right. And you know, that's why you've got to have disclosure, and these people didn't, and that's very unethical. And I can't believe that I haven't got on this gravy train of getting paid.
I know. Why didn't they contact you, Steve?
I would have done it. I'm as dodgy as all. You know, joke. So it's quite scary. No, I haven't done it. But at the end of each paper, they any of these scientific papers, and I'll just pick this one because it's in every single one. It says author contributions, funding. The research received no external funding. Institution review board, there's none. Informed consent statements, there was none because it's a review. Data availability, not applicable. Conflicts of interest is the last one. It says the authors declare no conflict of interest. So none of them work for... And if you lie about that sort of stuff, you're in big trouble. Yeah. But it would be absolutely fair to say, I work for the Aspartame company, whatever that is.
If you disclose it.
Absolutely. You disclose that. And that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong. It just means that, but they're not disclosing you're getting paid for it.
No, they're not. They're not. And it's interesting. And I think everyone should learn, if you're interested in health and you want to get some more knowledge, learn how to read research papers because they're key points that you spoke about there. You know, look at who's funding it, look who's doing the study. And a lot of times, you know, these papers that come out that are sort of biased towards what these people are trying to talk about, they're funded by the particular companies that produce these products, ingredients, that type of thing. So you really want to learn how to read the paper properly so you can actually get a sort of an unbiased opinion of whether it is a bias paper or not. So that's really important.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like if I come up with a new vitamin, you know, vitamin G, whatever, you know, some new vitamin or something, and I wanted to test it, I would put it through the peer review process and I would test it on X people, whatever. I'd do a randomized control trial and I'd say disclose my interest. And that's totally fine because I've got to fund my own research before anyone else will even look at it. Yeah. And then you get it repeated and reviewed by other people and you put in a peer review thing. So it's all about the review process. Yeah. And it's not perfect, but it's better than this dodgy stuff. Yeah. Well, and this 100%. Ticky-tocky whatever. TikTok. What is it? TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah, so TikTok.
I think ATP's on TikTok too.
Oh, really? Are they ATP on TikTok?
I don't know. I think so. I'm not on TikTok.
I'm not on TikTok. I'm not on
I've only... Am I?
Oh, you are on TikTok. Yeah, your videos are on TikTok.
Oh, that's Steve. Right. And you recorded some yesterday. I'm a TikTok influencer.
TikTok influencer. And they still didn't contact you.
No, they still didn't contact me about dodgy. I'll promote cigarettes. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. No, you would never.
Yeah, but this is not new.
No, this
has been going for years.
For a long time. But now, you know, because, I mean, social media it's just another form of advertising, another sort of outlet for advertising, and it's becoming more the norm. So going on with the article.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So we'll go in now, Steve. So the trade group, so the American Beverage, they paid an undisclosed amount to 10 registered dietitians as well as a physician and a fitness influencer to use their social media accounts to help blunt the WHO's claims that aspartame is ineffective for weight loss and possibly carcinogenic.
Yeah, it is. A possible carcinogen is what they call a 2B carcinogen.
Yeah.
And I remember the video you showed me of that guy, and I wish I could remember his name. But he said, it's just like your mobile phone. Yeah. Mobile phone has been linked to cancer.
Yeah.
If I did this for more than an hour a day, and we've done this data on this, it increases the risk of cancer. Yeah. Not by a lot, but it's a risk factor. And if you don't know that, then I think people should know this stuff.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's a possible risk carcinogen. You know, it's like lots of chemicals are possibly cancerous.
Yeah. So I mean that post, we won't say who that was because it's not. It's on Instagram.
If you see a guy promoting drinking 55 cans of stuff.
He said, by his height and his weight, he could safely drink 55 cans of Coke Zero or whatever it was, and not have any health issues.
But I loved his biochemistry.
Oh,
he's obviously
the way he broke it down was hilarious.
He had a chart and he had aspartame, and it broke down to 3 molecules, and it's like, okay, there's more than that. But anyway, I'm watching it and I'm going, okay, it breaks down to phenylalanine. That's found in meat. That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you had a piece of steak there.
Yep. Then it breaks down to methionine, which is found in something else of food. That's true too. And it breaks down to something else, aspartic acid, which is in, amino acids. What he didn't realise is that further breakdown products ends up as formaldehyde and formic acid. 2 incredible toxins for the body.
Yeah.
That were just
conveniently not spoken about.
It's like when my wife says to me, "Have you made the bed and put the rubbish out?" Yes, I've put the rubbish out.
Yeah.
What about So there's something missing. And from a biochemist that I am, I went, "Where's the formaldehyde thing?"
Yeah.
Now there's an enzyme called aldehyde dehydrogenase. Sorry to bore people here, but that's upregulated in men, right? So we're more sensitive to make formaldehyde in our body from methanol, which is one of the breakdown products. And methanol is, if you've ever seen those winos, people have heard of meth, but metho is an Australian term where you drink methylated spirits. It's very dangerous for you. Don't do it. And that causes optic nerve damage or blindness. Have you heard the term blind drunk? That's where it came from.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, from methanol toxicity. Methanol turns into formic acid, toxic for your eyes.
Yeah.
Very carcinogenic, causes DNA breakdown. Didn't mention that in his now if he wants to drink 55 cans, I bet he doesn't.
Oh, of course he doesn't.
Yeah.
This guy's a health influencer. He's a personal trainer.
Yeah. He's not training biochemistry.
He's not training biochemistry. No. And he's promoting health to people. So, whether the evidence is there or not, promoting that you can drink 55 cans of Coke Zero without, and he said, it might be dangerous if I was a rat. I'm sorry, but if I see a study where it's done on rats where there is evidence to show that it's dangerous, I'm still going to listen to that.
Well, that's exactly where you start. You start off with rats.
Yeah.
Because you're toxic, kill a rat. It's not the end of the world, is it?
Yeah, no, exactly. So and I read all the comments, and there was people saying this looks like a paid post, and he denied that it was a paid post, so perhaps it wasn't. But he has put out his own drink.
Yeah.
So, and it's got artificial sweeteners in it. So you have to really look at the backstory of why people are doing these things. So, and take their information with a grain of salt. So that's the sort of thing that we're trying to highlight as maybe just be a little bit aware that there is a lot of times an ulterior motive. Yeah. And it's not purely just for health reasons.
And if you've got an ulterior motive, declare it.
Yeah.
If you've got funding to say this, and then use data. No. Come up with a study that says, look, it says this. And everything in this world is dose dependent. Okay, water, if I drink too much water, I'll die. Hyponatremia will get me in the end.
Yep.
Okay, a long time down the track. But it'll get me. So aspartame could be safe at a lower dose. Let's say it is. Let's be, I wouldn't drink it, but let's say it is at a lower dose. Then you can say, okay, it's safe at a lower dose. So make sure you only have 1 can a day of this stuff, just to, if you're, a diabetic and just, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Qualify your statements.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, there's more, this goes on, doesn't it?
Goes on and on. Oh. The campaign, which the Beverage Group acknowledged organising, highlighted a little-known tactic the multi-billion-dollar food and beverage industry is using to sway consumers faced with often contradictory health messages about popular products. The food, beverage and dietary supplement industries are paying dozens of registered dietitians that collectively have millions of social media followers to help sell their products and deliver industry-free messages on Instagram and TikTok, according to an analysis by the Washington Post and The Examination. The analysis of thousands of posts found that companies and industry groups pay dietitians for content that encourage viewers to eat candy and ice cream, downplayed the health risks of highly processed foods, and pushed unproven supplements. Messages that run counter to decades of scientific evidence about healthy eating. The review found that among 68 dietitians with 10,000 or more social media followers on TikTok or Instagram, about half had promoted food, beverages or supplements to their combined 1 million followers within the last year. What I will say, and I've bolded this part, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with promoting things on your own account. No. I mean, that's how people make money.
We do. We've got ATP, got an account apparently, and apparently I'm on it. And apparently we. No, I do follow us. I'm just not a big social media person.
Yeah, and there's a lot of there's a lot of influencers out there, and there's a lot that promote healthy products. And I think there's nothing wrong with promoting a product that you've tried yourself and that you would back for yourself, and make it known that that you're being paid for this. Yep. Nothing wrong with that at all. Do whatever you want to do, but disclose it.
Yeah.
And then if you are a health professional or a health influencer, like stick to healthy, like promoting health products, not products like your ice cream and your, which we're going to go into some of the videos as well that were quite funny in how ridiculous they were.
Oh, yeah.
So some of the dietitians noted on their social media posts that they were part of a paid partnership, but not all made it clear to viewers that that's what they were doing. So they need to be very clear, and they need to have paid partnership on the top of the post. Yeah. I think this is going to change a few laws on social media.
Yeah, so they should.
Yeah. So the article goes on. So the strategy for enlisting dietitians on social media has allowed the industry to extend its vast reach and promote often questionable nutrition and nutrition advice to new generations of teens and Gen Z eaters and millennial parents. So this is interesting. So millennial parents are accustomed to finding news and health advice on social media. So all of the generation that are having babies now, they've come from the social media kind of generation.
Yeah.
So that's how they've lived. That's how they've got their knowledge. So they're now, they're looking at it, and then the Gen Zs, and now that's what they're using for. I don't think
I'm a Gen X, and we didn't grow up with this. So
no, I'm a Gen X as well.
No, you're
not. Are you not a baby boomer, Steve? I feel like you're a baby boomer.
No, I was born. I'm a 69er.
When did baby boomers? When did
I thought it was
Gen
66.
X's come in?
I'm pretty sure I'm a Gen X. Oh. We're getting Googled in the background, but I'm pretty sure I'm a Gen X.
I reckon Matt should Google that.
You're 28. What's that make you?
Gen
C or something?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I'm Gen X.
I am Gen X.
I'm pretty sure I'm Gen X.
Well, there you go.
I am.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow, the same generation as you, Steve. Wow, that's scary, isn't it?
That's scary shit, isn't it? There you go. Now you're depressed.
God. Now I feel even worse.
Oh, geez. Same generation as me.
I was telling Matt, I was watching a show last night because it was like I couldn't sleep. It was Mum, what is it? My Mum, Your Dad. It's a dating show.
Oh, I've heard of that.
And it's like kids set up their parents on this dating show. Yeah. And I this would be hilarious. And then you see, probably shouldn't say this, I might offend some people, but the ladies that were coming through were older ladies. And obviously they've got old grown children. Their children are setting them up.
So they're about 50? So that's pretty old for a woman.
I didn't think of it like that, Steve. Old. So I was looking at them going, they're older ladies, yeah. And then they had their ages up, and they were like 48, 49, 50, 51. And I'm like, oh my God, I turned it up, and I was just totally depressed after that, thinking that's me without the children's side of it. Because when you look at someone, you think they seem so old.
Yeah, like me.
And then you go, shit, they're actually the same age as me.
Yeah, like me. It's incredible.
It's so bad. So anyway, that was an aside. I was just like shocked. So yeah, depressed for the rest of the night after that. And I thought, oh my God, I'm an old lady.
So you're a Gen X too?
Yeah, I'm a Gen X. Yeah, I'm a Gen X, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was the 70s, though, not 60s. I'm not as old as you used to.
No one's old me.
No, that's right.
Maybe Noah.
That's right.
He was around when I was Keith Richards.
That's exactly right.
Knocking around when I was. Oh dear.
Yeah. So that's interesting about the Gen X eaters and the millennial parents. Yeah. So by paying registered dietitians, health professionals who specialise in nutrition, the food industry is moving beyond the world of ordinary online influencers to harness the prestige of credentialed experts to deliver commercial messages, which I think is really sad because it's already hard enough to find qualified, like health professionals online, like qualified, which we will talk about. And now they're actually bringing up these qualified professionals who are kind of, I'm sorry to say, but selling out.
Yes, true.
At the risk of their own reputation for money. So it makes it very hard for people who are watching to know what to believe and what not to believe.
And disclose it and use science. Don't, you know, you might have heard some bad things about aspartame, but this study shows X, Y, Z, and if you do X, Y, Z, you don't. You know, this is what health professionals should do.
Yeah.
Not talk about buzzwords.
No,
because otherwise it gives a bad. Because you got to remember, if, you know, when I was in practice, knowing your experience, but you tell someone something, and they come back next week, and it'd be like, or 2 weeks later, and it was like, I didn't tell you that. And they said, oh, yeah, but you said X, which I presumed is Y. And I wrote a book on the ketogenic diet.
Yeah.
And it was read. Even my sister, she said, oh, yeah, I have salad for lunch now. And I said, you know, that should be good. Yeah, I just have a bread roll and salad. And it's like, it doesn't, says no, you know, because I write things wrong. You say no grains. It's all right, I won't have grains, I'll have bread.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? It's like some people don't.
Yeah, some people don't. And some people don't know. And that's not, you know, that's not their fault. I guess they don't know. And I'm going to put my sort of view on why I think people listen to these types of things eventually when we get to that. So out of 35 videos, 11 specifically named the association or AmeriBev, which is, you know, hashtag, which is American beverage, as the partner at the time of the videos were first posted. So some did and some didn't. So there's another one here. So her account is Milk and Honey. So she's a registered dietitian and has diabetes. I'm assuming, this is the one that talks about, with the drink. I assumed it was type 1 because her appearance would be more young, type 1, quite slim, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. Talks about how aspartame is healthy and not linked to cancers and other health issues. She tells her audience that she prides herself on giving accurate science-backed information. And this is in the video.
Not money-backed information.
No.
Okay.
In the description next to the video, she writes, dietitian approved. Later in the post, it said AD in brackets, which is to indicate that it was a paid advertisement, just AD. So, you know, who's really going to look at that? After inquiries about the partnership, the posts were updated, strangely, with Canadian Sugar Nutrition, which is the Instagram account for the Canadian Sugar Institute. So she changed it after a bit of pressure.
Imagine working there.
Oh, no. Wow. You'd be, crazy, isn't it? Another one here. So registered dietitian Lindsay Plescott of Vancouver, British Columbia, has posted videos of herself eating ice cream and peanut butter cups by telling people that denying themselves sugary food will only make cravings worse.
Oh, no.
These and other posts were paid by the Canadian Sugar Institute.
Oh, really?
The trade group, which is funded by sugar producers, strangely. And they include the videos on the Instagram page. In one video, Plescott had a glazed donut and chocolate chip cookie, and she mocked advice to reduce sugar intake.
Oh.
She said, this is funny, the best ways to cut sugar are with a knife, with my hands, even with my teeth, but never out of my diet.
Oh, geez.
I'm like, crazy, isn't it?
Oh,
and then she goes on to say, sugar has been getting a bad rap for years thanks to diet culture, but villainising sugar is the most surefire way to make you even more obsessed. Despite what we've been led to believe, sugar is not toxic and doesn't need to be avoided at all costs. What's actually worse than eating sugar is the guilt and stress we place on ourselves when we do eat it. Not only does this have a negative mental and emotional effects, but can have significant physical impacts too. There is truly room for all foods in a nourishing diet, and allowing yourself to include them is the best thing you can do. Now, I will premise that we're not saying don't ever eat sugar. No, we're not saying that at all. And, of course, everyone has a little bit of a sugar here and there.
Yeah.
But making it sound like sugar is non-toxic and healthy, I think is wrong. We all know that sugar is detrimental, but we're all human and we're all going to eat a little bit of sugar here and there. But promoting it as part of a healthy diet is wrong, in my opinion.
Exactly. It's completely wrong.
Yeah.
Because you know what? People are going to see a dietitian eating a donut and chocolate chip cookie and ice cream and go, well, it's like another term that I really hate, and this is on my soapbox now, is when people say just eat it in moderation.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What is moderation? Yeah.
I'll only have one, serve of ice cream, and I only have one chocolate chip cookie, and I have one donut each day, and I only have one bag of chips, and that's moderation, isn't it? Because what's
only
moderation?
One of each. That's right.
Yeah, it's only one. One can't be too many.
Yeah.
But if I eat one of those every single day, then I have some breakfast cereal that's sugary, just in moderation. And so what the hell? They're eating nothing but sugar.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate that term, and I hate it's like, you know what? You aim to cut the crap.
Yeah.
Cut it.
Yeah.
With a knife, out of your diet.
Exactly.
Not with your teeth, with your knife.
Hands,
Don't let it get near your mouth. It's dangerous.
It's terrible.
Oh, my God. What else you got?
She said in an email, Plescott said she initially had concerns about working with the sugar group, but that she has full control over her posts, which reflect her belief in removing guilt and shame around food.
Oh, that's not what that was about.
Yeah, exactly. My integrity is most important to me, she said. Not. So clearly, I mean,
the money is.
It's interesting because the other spin on this could be that she actually fully believes this. The reason being, in America, here not so much, in America and Canada, that a lot of these big food companies and fast food, processed food companies, they fund a lot of the conferences and the training for naturopaths, for dietitians and nutritionists in the US. Mm-hmm. So the teaching they're getting are funded by these big companies.
Sure.
So she's been taught this stuff by the companies that are trying to sell the product down the line. And this is interesting because this happens in the medical industry as well. So a lot of the medical drug type education they have is from pharmaceutical companies funding it. So and funding the textbook printing, all that sort of stuff. So it comes down the line. I wouldn't say even in when I studied, and we never had anything like that, but we had labs coming and telling us about how amazing that this is the lab, that, this is the technology and this sort of stuff. But it was a lab telling us.
Yeah. So, and we knew it.
Yeah, and we knew it. Yeah.
And they're an expert in that. You knew they're from that company.
Yeah.
If I gave a talk about ATP stuff, I'm talking about ATP stuff.
Yeah.
People know I work for ATP. It's on my shirt.
Yeah.
We don't, but we tell them why.
Yeah.
So why is sugar healthy for you? Why is eating glazed donut? Why is ice cream? Why is butter?
Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah. So she could fully believe what she's saying, but you need to go away and do your own research because the learning that she's possibly had may be obviously skewed as well. So
I don't think she's talking about removing guilt. I don't feel guilty when I eat sugar. I don't feel guilty not eating sugar. It's just a bad food I keep away from.
You're just aware that you shouldn't eat a lot of it. You shouldn't be guilt attached to it.
I don't have an emotion with it.
Yeah. And look, I understand a lot of women do with the weight issue, and they do feel guilty about sugar. But if you take away the guilt and they're already having an issue with cutting a lot of sugar out of their diet, then what are they going to do? If they're not even guilty about it, they're going to eat more, I think.
Yeah. I always ask people why they're guilty about eating it, and they go, I know it's bad. And you go,
yeah.
See, that's why I'm not in practice. Yeah. Because I glare at people. It's like, it's bad and you're eating it.
Yeah.
You can see it's just like, I don't know. I struggle with that a little bit.
Yeah, look, it can be difficult. And, you like I get brutal with clients these days because at the end of the day, you can mollycoddle clients to be, okay, well, if you want to have a little bit of sugar, that's fine. Yeah. And I do say that sometimes. But at the end of the day, say, well, if you want to be healthy, you have this, and I see a different population than maybe people on watching social media. I see people who can be ill and say, well, you need to cut this out for your health and what's going on for you at the moment. So you do need to be a little bit more brutal. But
just before I started, I was in practice for a bit and I was charging $4 a minute because I didn't really love seeing patients because of one of this reason. And I got more of them because I was straight with them.
Yeah.
And they realised that when I tell them to just don't eat any of that sugar crap, I wasn't talking about guilt. I was talking about their health, which I think trumps I think the truth. There's a saying that I love, again, the facts don't care about your feelings.
That's right.
If you have a feeling around, I feel like some sugar, it's like the fact is you don't like it, you don't need it.
Yeah.
And so it's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
And you got to be, working with people. I know all that, but the facts don't care about the feelings.
Yeah.
They'll always trump it.
Exactly. And if they're paying you a lot of money to help them, then you need to give them the right information. You don't sort of make it so that, okay, we'll give a little bit of grace here because you have a sugar issue. If you have a sugar issue, why do you have a suger issue? Not just say to them.
$4 a minute to tell them to eat chocolate donuts.
No.
I would have made more money because if you could say that to someone and they believed it, it'd be the easiest advice to do on the planet.
Yeah. And I think, and that's the thing I was going to say at the end, I think a lot of people really believe this stuff because everybody knows deep down that this stuff is not true, but it actually gives them a free pass.
Yes.
Because they don't want to give up these things that they're having, and it gives them a free pass to go, well, the evidence says, and this is said, and so it's actually fine.
Yeah.
And so it just gives them the green light, really. So it's sort of like, and that's what a lot of people look for. They want the easy way out. They don't want to know about the fact that it's hard to stay, there's work involved in staying healthy. You do have to eat well, and sometimes, it can be hard, and you do have to exercise, and you do have to do all these things. There is no magic pill and the things that are touted all over social media about lose 30 kilos in 30 days and all these sorts of things, and they're just not realistic. So,
no, and they're not long-term, and they're not healthy.
No.
And, we're paid to give out the best advice, not the easiest advice.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that these people don't like.
No, they don't. So,
it's amazing. What else you got? Because I've got some older
Yeah, we're going to go
posts.
into some interesting stuff. But as for this article continues, another dietitian with a large social media following, Jenna Messina of North Vancouver. But this is the this is the lollipop one. This one's hilarious. You can look this up online, everyone. People, the videos that are on there.
And I swore. But anyway, I won't. I won't swear today.
So she posted a video on Instagram where she added a lollipop to a dinner plate. She told parents the strategy will prevent sweets obsession and help kids develop healthier relationships with food. In another Instagram video, she told parents that they can make Halloween less stressful by allowing kids to eat as much candy as they want when they're done trick-or-treating. This helps decrease the stash and makes it less of a big deal, she wrote on the text alongside the video. Yes, they may barf. That's a great life lesson.
Great. So it's okay to make kids sick, is it?
Yeah.
I'm not a parent, but that doesn't sound right to me.
Yeah.
I think parents have got to do some, what's that word? Parenting.
Well, that's
maybe
right.
teach their kids not to eat too much shit.
Yeah.
Can I say shit?
Well, yeah, you've just said it.
Just did it.
Yeah. So this is a paid partnership, by the way, everybody. So obviously.
Yep.
But she didn't make that overly clear.
No.
But the scarier thing was I read through the comments and there was people agreeing with her and said, that makes sense. Yes, I will do this with my child because and that's the problem because a lot of these people are turning to these professionals for their health information. And if they're saying it, a lot of people are going to believe it.
Well, it's also the parents sort of go, it's easier to believe that.
Yeah.
I think there's an element of people knowing, yes, I shouldn't feed so much sugar that my kid throws up, but may as well. It's one night and blah, 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 blah. And all this sort of justification to make a child sick. And I don't think it's healthy at all.
No, it's definitely not. It's not healthy at all. So she disclosed on her post in an interview that she was paid by Canadian Sugar.
Yeah.
She said that while her advice is non-traditional, her goal is to help parents.
Non-traditional or non-scientific? Would you make a typo there?
Either or.
Oh, okay. I just didn't see there might be a typo. Non-traditional. There we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Non-scientific.
So she declined to say how much the Sugar Institute paid her for a sponsored video.
Jeez.
She says she pitches ideas for videos to the Institute. This is the the Sugar Institute. But has full say of what she posts.
Well,
I don't work with any industries that tell me what to say or how to say it, which is worse because this is coming from her own mouth. It has to be 100% my voice or I won't do it, she said. Since last year, the Sugar Cube Group has paid at least a dozen registered dietitians to post videos about sugar on Instagram. If your kiddo, this is what she said, if your kiddo is obsessed with sweets, they likely need more access to sweets rather than less.
Dictions we're talking now. Okay, so if I'm addicted to cigarettes, I need more cigarettes.
Yeah, apparently so. Apparently
and if I'm addicted to opioids, I need more opioids.
Get some more into you.
You know what? Do you know Purdue Pharma? They had a doctor who worked for them, and Purdue Pharma, this is a big court case. It's been settled, billions of dollars. But they had a doctor that said if they are craving more opioids and they're having more pain, or pain, they say they need more opioids. You're underdosing your patients on opioids.
Okay. Good to know.
I mean, it's a dodgy. They had gorgeous chicks selling the stuff to doctors. There was a dodgy. They had the dodgiest mechanism, and they sold it by the milligram.
Yeah.
So the insurance paid by the milligram of the drug. I probably shouldn't mention drug, but it is out there in the public. It's an opioid, opioid.
Yeah.
And so the salespeople started off at 10 milligrams. Their last tablet got up to 160 milligrams of opioid.
God.
So the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
But they pay doctors to teach the sales and to talk to other doctors. Yeah. And that's fine, but they just did it in an incredibly unethical way.
Yeah, which is we've been happening for years, and we're going to talk about how it used to happen back in
blinders from
a long time
days
ago.
from when I was a kid.
Yeah. So So the analysis by the Post and the examination, so that did this article, also found that dietitians have been paid to tout the benefits of dietary supplements that lack scientific consensus, such as detox teas that help to claim the body expelled toxins.
Yep.
There was one, Cynthia Scott from Augusta, the area, a dietitian who has more than 300,000 followers on Instagram, encourages parents to give what she calls brain-boosting omega-3 fatty acid supplements to children as young as 6 months old.
Ooh, 6 months.
So, I mean, look, for omega-3s, I love omega-3s, but you not to a 6 months old.
Too young.
And, there's a lot of pretty awful toxic omega-3 products out there as well. So, so because she's got paid to say it. So in the text adjacent to her post, so not in the actual post itself, she wrote paid partnership with Carlson Labs, obviously who make the supplement. So it's quite scary that people are touting this stuff and people are listening to it.
Yeah.
So,
and for those who don't know about kids out there, they're very different to adults. And in fact, if you give a kid, say, honey, it can kill them.
Yeah, a very young child.
Yeah, very. So be very cautious about.
Yeah. Well, I don't treat children, and that the reason is because
they're too noisy and crappy. No.
There's a lot more.
Oh yeah.
You got to be a lot more careful.
Yep.
There's a lot more dangers involved, and dosages and all that sort of stuff. And so
I've got some kids' medication here I'm going to talk about.
Oh, great. Okay, I can imagine.
So anyway, we got the kids sorted. I didn't leave them out. Okay. Men and women.
Excellent. Perfect.
Yep.
All right.
What else you got?
So basically goes on and on. So the lack of clear disclosure is bad for consumers. Well, surprise, surprise. So regulators have struggled to keep up with the rapid rise of the online influence industry.
Yeah.
And you can see it everywhere. Like they get paid a lot of money. So, a lot of people will sell out. So over 33 dietitians who posted paid content on their millions of followers, half didn't disclose their sponsorships in at least one of their posts. Another 2 placed disclosures deep in the descriptions. Clear descriptions, according to this advertising company, combats deceptive marketing. Or surprise, surprise, if you make it clear that you're actually being paid by a company.
Yeah.
And it goes on to say, would you expect the dietitian would be partnering with the soda industry? Well, no, you wouldn't expect that at all. So, so you're going to be thinking, oh, this is coming from their mouth. This is their research. This obviously must be right. So it's a big issue.
Wow.
Well, it goes on and on.
It goes on, and this has been going on for, I'm going to say, about just over a century.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about influences from the social media thing. Yeah. There was also influences from the media days before social media.
So this has been going on forever.
Ever. And
this is just a new way of marketing. It's not a whole new everything. Obviously marketing has been going on from forever.
Millennia.
So long as people have been trying to sell things, they've been marketing them. So this is just a new forum. But my point is, we'll go into some of that stuff.
That's all right.
So this whole article was about, the dietitians and the professionals downplaying aspartame dangers.
Yes.
And it's all everywhere. And I know there's a couple of really prominent, health professionals, fitness professionals out there, very prominent, who bang on about how aspartame is safe. They bang on. We both know who I'm talking about. We won't name them.
Him.
Yes, we know him. But this goes back to, let's talk about the cigarette industry, Steve.
Oh, let's do it. I love the cigarette industry. By the way, for anyone who wants to contact me, email me at Steve.
Steve's phone number. We can look at this. So smoking, obviously, and obviously the younger people wouldn't know that back in the day, smoking was touted as being very healthy.
Very healthy.
Yeah. So 100 years ago, concerns, this comes from another article I pulled up, concerns about smoking was considered alarmist. There was no definitive evidence that smoking was harmful. By the 1930s, tobacco companies had doctors lined up ready to debunk the notion that smoking could be harmful, calling out people as crazy for even suggesting that smoking may cause cancer. Does that sound a little bit like the aspartame argument? Like the people who are saying that it can be dangerous are being called crazy and they're alarmists, and it's literally just history repeating. And aspartame hasn't been around long enough for us to start to see the effect.
Do you know how it was discovered?
No.
It's just a fascinating story. Now, everyone can Google this and check this out. But there was this guy developing a chemical and he accidentally licked his finger with the chemical and it was very sweet.
Yeah.
And that's how aspartame came to be as artificial sweetener. No joke.
Wow.
That's exactly how it worked. Because no one was looking for an artificial sweetener in the 60s.
Because people, that's right. And people didn't have sugar addictions, I would assume, back then either.
No, it wasn't as much.
Well, there wasn't as much processed foods and things around then.
More exercise, less cars, all that.
Yeah. So then this article goes on to say that cigarettes, back in the day, they were told cigarettes pose no health risks or even that they're beneficial for aiding digestion.
Oh, yeah.
This was the tobacco industry's response to the research surfacing. So it was starting to come out that it was bad. So the tobacco industry said, no. It's not linked to cancer. It's beneficial. It helps digestion. And, and then their answer, and does this also sound familiar? Their answer was to fund studies of their own to prove that tobacco smoking was safe. Exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I'll go on further.
Yeah.
And this was an ad published about Cigars de Joy, which is a treatment for asthma.
What's it called? Cigars de Joy?
De Joy. It's French. And they actually used cigarettes for the immediate relief in case of asthma, wheezing and winter cough.
Oh, for the relief of asthma.
And it says, with little persistence will affect a permanent cure. So universally recommended by the most eminent physicians and medical authorities. So this it certainly affects and harmless in their action. They may be safely smoked by ladies and children.
Oh, really? Children?
It says children, ladies and children.
Oh,
so, and you're right. Back in, of course, back then there was the old in the 60s with the more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette, and there's a picture of a doctor there smoking his cigarettes, probably in front of a patient.
Probably. Well, everyone used to smoke inside. When I was a kid, you could smoke inside.
Of course, you could smoke on planes and everything. Remember there was a smoking section and non-smoking
section? Yeah, I know. It used to make me laugh. I'm like, hang on a minute.
Yeah, I still remember that Flying Home movie where they said, do you want to sit in the smoking? Do you want your ticket smoking or non-smoking? And he said, smoking, please. And it came out, the ticket was on fire and smoking.
Yeah.
But Nick, I've got some ads for you.
Okay.
You're going to love this because this is for you.
Okay.
And it says, stay fit and slim. That's a good start.
Everyone wants.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's only for women, this one.
Oh, right. Okay.
So better listen. Every woman wants to look better and feel better for the year ahead. Slenderous is the way to health, beauty and fitness. A couple of grams of amphetamine sulfate taken daily enables you to slim down while doing the housework.
Oh, nice.
Surely and safely.
Oh, it definitely would.
This magic powder also helps you tonify the blood and the entire system and makes you look better for your man.
Wow. Amazing.
So start taking amphetamines today and make sure you're looking and feeling better in 1940.
Oh, my God. All right, how do we get
this shit?
Oh, wow, that sounds amazing.
Oh, yeah. There's some more sexist comments coming up later. But anyway, look, Nick, do you ever suffer from toothache?
Oh, occasionally, yes.
Well, I've got the answer for you.
What's your solution, Steve?
And it's got a couple of kids here on the cover. And it's a type of toothache drops for an instantaneous cure.
Okay, yeah.
And you want to know what it is?
Yeah, I want to know.
Cocaine.
Oh! Yeah,
that says cocaine.
That'll take the pain away.
That'll take the pain away, we guarantee it.
Wow.
For sale by all druggists. Don't need a prescription.
Oh, what? Over the counter?
Yeah, of course it is.
Excellent. How much is it, Steve?
15 cents.
15 cents.
15 cents
awesome.
for cocaine. Remember, that was in Coca-Cola.
That's right. That was in Coca-Cola.
And if you weren't happy with the other cigarettes, we've got the Dr. Batty cigarettes.
Oh, Dr. Batty.
Dr. Batty.
Okay, that's a worry. Yeah.
So that's a good one. It also helps with asthma, hay fever, foul breath, all diseases of the throat, head's cold, canker sores, bronchial irritations. But they put a safety warning on this. This is the first safety warning, not recommended for children under 6.
Oh, well, they're being responsible, Steve.
So 7-year-old, totally fine.
Dr. Batty's
but if you've got a kid that's under 6 and an infant that's giving you the sleepless baby, use laudanum.
Oh.
Now, do you know what laudanum is?
No, I don't.
It's tincture of opium and alcohol.
Oh, wow.
That's what laudanum is.
Well, that'll calm them down.
It also aids in pain relief, yellow fever, cardiac diseases, it causes cardiac diseases, colds, dysentery, and excessive secretions.
Oh, excessive secretions, eh?
Yeah, so we've got to watch that. So that's another one there. Now, I've got one that you can talk about here too that I don't feel super duper comfortable talking about.
See, now you haven't showed me these, so I'm worried because you've done this to me before, Steve.
I've got
set me up.
The top picture is a problem that is quite common, and the bottom picture is the cure to the problem. Oh, so God. You better explain what the problem is there in the top picture. Explain what's going on there, please.
What is going on there?
Okay, well, what's in the picture?
Well, it's a bunch of blokes.
Yes, looking at
a man's region in lower region.
Yes.
One of them's holding a dish.
Yep. And what's happening to the lady at the end of the bed? Does she look happy or not?
She looks loving. She looks like she's looking at him adoringly.
Oh, yeah. So guess what she wants but can't get?
I'm very confused. I don't think I want to know.
It's the cure for impotence.
Oh.
The guy's impotent. So that's why the men are coming into the bedroom while the guy's naked and starting to looking at his anatomy.
What's the bit on the bottom?
That's the cure for your impotence.
Oh, can I just say what the cure for the impotence is?
Yep, go for it.
An electric belt.
Electric belt. Now the electricity goes around the belt and goes down where?
Oh, to the scrotum by the looks of it.
Yes. And is there something to put your
bits in?
Yep.
Yes.
It's hanging down.
There is.
You're electrified.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That is cool.
That's an interesting. Yes.
That's interesting.
We've really gone off track.
Well, no, this is fake news. But there is one other medicine I want to talk about, cough medicine. What's in the cough medicine?
The one night cough syrup. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. So if you have a cough, Steve.
Yes.
There you go. I've got just the cure for you.
Good. What's my cough medicine?
So I've got this amazing cough syrup. So it's got alcohol in it.
Yeah, good. It's a start.
Well, it does have a bit of cannabis in it.
Yeah, good. That's even a better start.
It's got a little bit of chloroform.
Chloroform? Yeah, that's what you need.
And some morphia.
Morphia is morphine. Morphine is an opioid.
Yeah. So that should clear your cough right up, Steve.
It'd clear everything right up, I'll tell you.
I think it'd clear
Imagine taking that
up
from the pharmacy.
Yeah. So, I mean, the point, this is a bit of fun.
Yeah,
but the point is, this type of marketing has been going on for generations and generations. Yeah. And unfortunately, now we have the internet and we have social media and we have everything at our fingertips. People can just get on every day and learn all they need to learn about their health. So
I've got a more modern one, just one. There's a lady that we watched and, had an aneurysm over.
This lady's...
I don't know if we can say her name.
No, I probably wouldn't, just in case.
No, I wouldn't. But she's Australian. She's still around to this very day, running very expensive courses that you can attend. Not in Australia, by the way, because she's banned from Australia.
Yeah, she's banned.
Minor problem there. She's called herself a doctor, but when the case is it's not a doctor.
No,
then she called herself a naturopath, but there's no evidence she's a naturopath.
No.
And I don't think she's a naturopath.
No.
Because she gave, and this is still on YouTube to this very day. She's still going.
You showed me.
I showed you. It's incredible. But she was talking about cancer, how to cure cancer.
Yeah.
And if you're leaving now, they want to cure cancer, buy carbonate soda.
Yes,
that cures cancer,
that cures cancer.
Okay, now hear me out. That's a recommendation. Okay, yeah. And very scarily, that's a problem.
Yeah.
She says here, she talked about the loves and hates of cancers, what cancer loves and what cancer hates. And she said, it loves sugar, which it does. The Warburg effect, 1930s, and it feeds off sugar. That's good. But the other thing it loves is acid. And I went, what is she talking about? So I looked into this further, and she said cancers, the first thing she said was cancers grow in an acid environment. And I went, what the hell is going on here? And so for those who don't know why that's such a thing, I'll pull up a paper here published in Cell Reports. It's a peer-reviewed scientific paper that clearly says that raised pH is thought to be beneficial for tumour progression and invasiveness. Now, pH, if it's raised, it's alkaline.
That's right.
Okay? So cancers actually thrive in an alkaline environment.
Yes.
In fact, if you give people have treatments of acid, they take, say, ascorbic acid, okay, which treats cancers.
Yeah.
We know that fibers are good for the bowel, which make butyric
acid,
propionic
acid,
valerianic
acid.
Yeah. So all these acids. So if and then you exercise, which is one of the best things you can do to prevent cancer, and it builds up acid in your body, lactic acid. Yeah. Everyone's heard of that. Everyone's felt that, haven't they? When you go to the gym.
That's true. Yeah.
So this is, and then what she does is she alkalizes the body with bicarbonate soda, which increases tumor invasiveness. Now, firstly, the pH of the blood is already in an alkaline environment. It's 7.4. It doesn't go to 7.0. If it goes slightly acidic, you're dead.
Yeah, that's right.
You die of acidosis.
Yeah.
So it won't go there.
Yeah.
So this complete, absolute treatment regime she goes on is completely misinformed by a fundamental fact. It's like heading in the wrong direction and then taking wrong roads. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And yes, she is banned in Australia, but YouTube, you can view it in Australia.
Yeah, you can.
And remember the courses she runs?
Yeah. How much are the courses? Like $5,000.
$5,000 to go.
Yeah.
And by the way, I looked up, that's full.
Is it?
It's full.
But see, and this is the thing that scares me and I find is terrible is so naturopaths don't treat cancer.
No.
We don't. I mean, there's naturopaths out there that do sort of sort of align with medical practitioners and work along with them to help support treatments and things. But we don't treat cancer. But it's a very emotionally charged condition.
Yes.
And a lot of people will do anything if they think it's going to help them. And people like this that profit off them should be put in jail.
Well, she almost was.
Yeah.
She got in big trouble.
Yeah.
Because she was telling people to go off chemotherapy drugs.
Oh,
I know.
wow.
It's like that. That was probably the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm not a big one for cancel culture. I think a bad idea should be countered with a good idea, not silenced, because you don't know how bad that idea is.
Yeah.
Who's to judge that?
That's right.
This whole misinformation thing that we're talking about here, I don't think any of these dietitians should be banned, but they should be disclosed.
Yeah, exactly. They should disclose that they're being paid because people are looking to them for information, correct information, science
impartial.
Backed, impartial information. And if it's paid, then they should know about it. That's all. That's all. And they weren't disclosing it. And I think we're just trying to highlight, through this article that you've got to be really careful about what you believe on social media because there's a lot of rubbish out there. Yeah. So much rubbish.
I watched some of it today.
Yeah. And a lot of these influencers aren't actually qualified in anything. Some are, sadly.
Like this lady's not qualified in anything.
No.
I guarantee it, the way she was talking.
Exactly. And, there's so many health, these influencers saying, I do this and I've lost this much weight. Well, that's great, but that might have worked for that person. It doesn't work for somebody else. Yeah. And you've just got to be very careful. So, do some fact checking, look into the person that you're following. If you think they're great, just because they've got 1 million followers does not mean they are qualified and know exactly what they're talking about. Look at their credentials, do your own research, and don't believe everything that you hear or see on social media.
Absolutely. Please don't. I've got a couple of man crushes that I've talked about.
Oh, yeah, you want to? Yeah, your man
just very
and a half
quickly.
crushes.
Yeah, Bill Campbell.
Oh, Bill Campbell. Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, he's great. Very, very intelligent man.
Every day I wake up with him because he posts overnight. Oh, no, that doesn't sound right, does it?
Nice.
I wake up with him. He's on my phone.
Yes.
And he gives a quiz.
Yeah, he does.
And I can't remember this morning's quiz, but it's like, and the way he does it is that, and the correct answer is, and it's, you have to click on it.
Open it, yeah.
And I try and get it every morning. And how do you know he's right? Well, he quotes a scientific study. Yeah. PMID, which is a PubMed identification number, whatever it is. So it actually links to a study.
Yeah.
Now, studies can be wrong, but this is a good source of information.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I love that guy.
Yeah, Bill. He's been on the podcast a couple of times.
Yeah, I know.
In the past as well.
I still
want to go back and find that.
I want him on again. I mean, he is brilliant.
He's a brilliant man, yes.
Yeah, PhD, very, so he's credentialed.
Yeah, and very talks about, his knowledge is science backed.
Yeah.
So not like some of these influencers that don't have any qualifications, or the ones that do that are then getting paid off.
Yeah.
So
and you don't have to have a qualification.
No.
Like super duper, another guy that I love, who I want to get him on the podcast too. He talks about exercise and mindset because he's a professional bodybuilder. And so, he's qualified in probably PT. I'm pretty sure he is. I'm not sure. But it's not what he's there because he's got the body and he does the hard work and he tells you good exercises to do. And the evidence is his body.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be a professional bodybuilder if you didn't know shit about going to the gym.
Yeah.
Like your photos, you showed yesterday, not to the public, but they were incredible. The work you did in those was just, you could just see is amazing. My chiropractor is same sort of thing. She's amazing. Well, yeah, she does the hard yards.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So anyone can look up this article and have a look at themselves, and all the videos are online of these professionals and what they're talking about. So you can look that up. So, but just be aware that a lot of things you're seeing on social media probably could be paid posts a lot of the time. So just look into that. So the things like, drinking 55 cans of diet soda, I probably would avoid that.
Do you think?
just a thought, Steve. Just because it's a health professional. And it's a health professional, that's what gets me. Because as a health professional, it taints us all with the same brush.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the same influencer. I mean, he's at a PhD. He's a very intelligent man, and he has a lot of really good information.
That guy with the cans of drinks, PhD.
No, he's not. No. The one we were talking about earlier that said some things about aspartame being healthy. The guy we were talking about before we came into the podcast. Yeah. So he did a post on naturopath. So he's a nutritionist, not a naturopath. And he downed every naturopath and said he's never seen a good one. They do nothing but talk rubbish and they don't fix anyone and and he tainted everyone with the same brush. And this is what happens when all these influencers and so-called professionals get on social media and tell you all these things that aren't actually true and they're not backed by science. And so it makes me mad. So, yeah.
It's terrible because, we've done podcasts on I remember a couple of weeks ago we did a podcast on one extract of one herb and there was about 10 studies, peer-reviewed papers on that. So, I mean, the fact that there's no evidence of what we do is nuts. It shows complete ignorance of the science.
No, it's science-based, evidence-based medicine that we practice and that we're taught. So we don't just go out and look at, our wives. What did they used to do in the 1900s and make a potion? That's when we don't do that.
I mean, what they did thousands of years ago, it can still be true today.
I mean, they were amazing, but yes, but it is all science backed. So, just be more mindful of what you're looking at and do your own research. Look into things. If you see a post that looks a bit odd and you're just going to believe it blindly, maybe look a little bit further into it.
Yeah, that's it.
Go look up this article. It's from the Washington Post. I think the name of it, I can't remember. It's about influencers being sold out by the soda companies.
Deep fried, sugar laden donuts, please.
Or put lollipops on your kids' plates.
Oh, don't do any of that. That's nothing that anyone, nutritionists or naturopaths, because I'm a nutritionist as well.
Yeah, I'm a nutritionist as well, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like we've got nutritional qualifications. We've got herbal qualifications. Yeah. I've got homeopathy qualifications, and I did a Master of Health Science and taught it for years. And you've just got to watch the information that comes out.
Yeah.
Good advice, I think.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve-O. Hopefully that's helped a few people anyway and maybe highlighted a few things that maybe need to be highlighted.
Yep, and we'll be back next week.
We will. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.